How you guys doing? My name is Eric from HHH Roofing, and today we'll be talking about what is the best flat roof for my home here in Houston, Texas. Now, if you live in Houston, Katy, Spring, the Woodlands, you know that Houston weather tends to be a bit extreme at times. We have a lot of heat, a lot of humidity, a lot of rain, and a lot of wind. So your roof needs to be for this specific climate. When it comes to flat roofs, they tend to be a lot more complicated than your traditional roofs. Your traditional roofs are like your asphalt shingle, but when it comes to flat roofs, it's a different ball game. It's different materials, it's a different way to go about it. So today we're going to be talking about what are your different options, the pros and cons of those options, and what I recommend homeowners to look at whenever it comes to their flat roof. Now, before we actually jump into the roofing materials, I want to make a quick disclaimer saying that there is not one system that is the better system. Roof systems, specifically flat roof systems, are going to vary. Every option is going to be different depending on your home, depending on you as a homeowner, depending on your budget, depending on your decking, and a couple of different options. So understand that sometimes one system may be better, one system may be more expensive, one system may look better. So it's going to depend on you as the homeowner. So these are not ranked. These are simply the most common that we see here in Houston. Now, the first one is going to be modified torch or modified bitumen. This is an older roofing material that's been here for a long time and is very common in residential homes. This is going to be a rolled membrane that is made up of primarily asphalt. Asphalt is what's used also in shingles, so it's very similar to shingles as well. These roofs tend to tie in very well for homes because, like I said, they look very similar to shingles, so it ties in very well with those colors. You can also pick an array of colors for this type of roof system, whether it's your traditional driftwood, a desert tan, a onyx black, and so on. Now, when it comes to modified torch or modified bitumen, you have two application processes. The first one is going to be using an open flame to attach it to melt the asphalt. And the second one, which I highly do not recommend, is a peel and stick. Now, the peel and stick option, the reason I don't recommend it is every single time we've been out to properties here in Houston and they have leaks on a new flat roof, more often than not, it's because they have a peel and stick roof system. From our opinion and from our experiences, the peel and stick modified torch does not do well. We only recommend installing an open flame modified torch roof system. Now, the second one is going to be a TPO roof system. Now, TPO is relatively new compared to modified torch or modified bitumen. TPO is a single ply membrane, and it's a rolled membrane that looks white. You have options in getting it in colors like gray and so on, but it's going to be harder and more expensive. The most common that we see is going to be traditionally white. Now, the thing when it comes to TPO, you have two forms of application. You actually have a couple, but the most common are going to be mechanically attached using fasteners to secure it down to the decking. And the second one is an adhesive. Now, the adhesive is going to be the more expensive option. And adhesive is also a great option for the wind rating. So those are the two most common applications. Now, when it comes to TPO, it does very well. This type of roof system is most commonly found in commercial buildings, in your hotels, your office buildings, your strip centers, all that type of stuff. These roofs do very well in that extreme setting, so they tend to do very well also in your residential homes. The only thing with TPO, I tell homeowners, it can sometimes be expensive depending on your decking and so on, but it can help decrease the make your home better insulated because all the UVs that bounce on your roof don't get absorbed from the asphalt. Instead, they bounce off. And the other thing about TPO is it holds water very well. Now, the only drawbacks when it comes to TPO specifically for homeowners is that number one, it tends to be a white membrane. So that white, it's very visible sometimes. And if you have a very low area and you have that white there, it can be an eyesore. So sometimes that can be an issue with homeowners because it kind of takes away the look from the property unless the building's very high up. And the other thing with TPO is that it can also sometimes be more expensive than modified torch, but it depends. Now, the third roof system that we see is going to be PVC. Now, PVC is also another single ply membrane. It's very similar to TPO. If you actually compare PVC versus TPO, you would probably think they look the same. The main difference between PVC and TPO is the chemical compound. So PVC was actually introduced originally first, and then TPO came along. Now, TPO does very similar things as, or sorry, PVC does very similar things as TPO. It actually bounces off the UV rays. It does a very good job of holding up to water on the roof. The application process is very similar to TPO. You can use mechanical fasteners, or you can also use an adhesive application. But PVC can be more expensive than TPO more commonly than not. And here in the Houston area, we tend to see a lot more TPO with your residential homes than we see PVC. But just know that PVC is a great system if you have a contractor that knows PVC. Is used a lot in commercial buildings like Chick-fil-A's, Jack in the Boxes, again, office buildings, and that sort of thing. Now, the drawbacks, again, similar to TPO, is that it's a white membrane at times, so it's an eyesore for homeowners, and it can be more expensive than your other options. Now, the last option is going to be a seamless metal roof. I don't really recommend this if the roof is very flat, but if you do have a pitch to it, I put this on here because a lot of times homeowners may have a little pitch. You can have an option of using a seamless metal roof, and that seamless metal roof can sometimes, elevate the way the home looks. A lot of seamless metal roofs really give that home a more luxurious look to it. The good thing about seamless metal roofs is that they tend to last a lot longer than asphalt shingle or modified torch. They look very great. They hold up very well in the Texas weather. Now, the only drawbacks is that seamless metal roofs cannot just be applied everywhere. It needs to be for a specific type of pitch and the way your roof is structured. The other negative drawback about seamless metal roofs is that they tend to be very expensive. The seamless metal roof is probably going to be the most expensive option for you as a homeowner. So for that reason, we don't really see that too much. Most of the time, we see seamless metal roofs being installed on a new addition or on a new construction home. If you're doing roof replacement, we don't really see them too often than not. The other issue with seamless metal roofs is that the metal roofs, you can have leaks on the seams and the corners and the edges. That's why I just tell homeowners it's going to depend on the way your roof is structured, your faucets, it's going to depend on your decking and so on. But seamless metal roof is another option. Now, those are the most common that we see here in Houston. There are other flat roof systems out there, such as EPDM or Burr built-up roof systems. But those roof systems, we do not see them on homes here in Houston. They tend to be more on the commercial side of things, and they tend to be older systems. If you're a homeowner, I wouldn't recommend those options. They don't really work well with most homes and tend to be a little more expensive. I really just recommend sticking to these options we talked about. Now, here in Houston, Spring, the Woodlands, Conroe, the most that we see are probably going to be the modified torch and the TPO. We do see some PVC, and we also do see some seamless metal roofs, but more often than not, when it comes to a flat roof system, we usually see modified torch or TPO. Now, hopefully this video kind of helped you get some idea of the different options you have as a homeowner. If you have a flat roof and you're having leaks, I just recommend call a roofing company to come out there, but just make sure they specialize in flat roofs. Flat roofs and your regular pitch roofs are very different things. They're not the same thing. A lot of times the biggest problems when it comes to flat roofs having leaks or issues is because of the installation. You need to make sure you have a contractor that knows how to work with flat roofs because they are more difficult. They do require more attention to detail and more experience on that realm. But hopefully this video helped you. If you have any questions, drop a comment down below. We'll do our best to answer those questions. I will also link our blog post down below as well. Click on that. That have a little bit more information, some pictures, some links you can do some more research on. And if you're in the Houston area, Kingwood, Katy, Sugarland, the Woodlands, give us a call. Our number is 832-458-1602. We're a local roofing company here located in Spring, Texas, but we work all over the Houston area. Our thing for us is we really specialize in flat roofs. So if there's something we can help you, we're more than happy to help if we can. Even if it's just a simple question you have, just give us a call and we'll do our best to answer what we can.